Hey guys, it's Ninjy. Today's video is just going to be a little bit different. I wanted to share with you a story of something that happened to me over the last weekend that I'm still suffering horribly from. Do not let my generally upbeat demeanor fool you. I am thoroughly upset. I'm going to be stealing a larger streamer's storytelling style, just kind of as a bit of an homage to him, so let me know who you think I am blatantly stealing from down in the comments. Now let me give you a little bit of context for this story by dropping a little bit of Ninjy lore. This is me. In real life, I work a full-time job, and this full-time job is at a property management company. I used to be the community manager for an apartment complex, but I have transitioned into the corporate side of things. Because I have the most tenure at my company out of everybody in my market area, I have the wonderful job of driving from office to office, providing coverage, training employees, or other various tasks not important to this video. This means I have to drive a lot. Lately, I've been getting thrown around like cheap trash, and I've been asked to travel to many different faraway places. For starters, I live in northern Colorado, somewhere in this general area. And a few weeks ago, I was asked to drive all the way down south of Denver, about 3 hours away from where I live, and stay there for 2 days. So this would have required me to stay overnight. This last weekend, I was asked to go up to the eastern slope of the mountains, again almost 3 hours away, for 3 days, which would have required me to stay in the model apartment at the community. And my company had plans to send me to New Mexico the following week for a few days. Now I'm used to driving about an hour and a half for work every single day there and back to the office, but all this staying overnight stuff is a brand new thing to me. I have to tell you, I'm not a fan. That's a lot of wear and tear on my car, and driving so far from community to community and, having your car just sit in traffic at a standstill, it makes you go insane, but I digress. So production, represented by the almost as beautiful award-winning actress Christina Hendricks, and I were getting ready to go to this property up in the mountains. We've been up there before, but had a horrible experience in the past because our old dog had had a seizure and then had to be put down immediately upon our return home. Rip Sally, forever in our hearts. Last time we were at this property, we were very underpacked, so this time we went a little overkill. We had towels, snacks, video games, beer, for after work. Swimsuits for the hot tub, toiletries, the dog, anything you could think of. It was almost like a mini vacation where we still had to work, and we took all that and jammed it into the back of the car. We had to be up there by Monday at 9 a.m., so we decided to leave the night before and stay in the model apartment just in case. So we start driving. We get through northern Colorado, then Denver, and then we finally make it up to the mountains. At this point, we've been driving about 90 minutes, so there's about another 90 minutes to go. My car's having a little bit of difficulty up the mountain, but that was to be expected. There's some steep inclines on the way, so we continue on none the wiser. Well, dear viewer, I am a naive idiot, and I know nothing about cars. Eventually, the mountain gets steeper and my car is having a little bit of trouble hitting the speed limit while on cruise control, so I start pushing down on the gas pedal, but the car isn't going any faster. I push a little harder and the engine gets louder and louder, and I remember thinking, good, we give it a little more gas and we'll speed up and make good time. As I'm pushing hard on the gas, the engine gets really loud, like really, really loud. And then it just stops. And all the lights on the dash illuminate, and then the car starts to slow down. All I did in that moment was turn to production and say, that's it, and we rolled to a stop on the smallest highway shoulder I have ever seen, around a blind corner turn in the pitch black darkness. Production turned to me and asked, did the car break down? And I replied, I think it did, but let me try and turn the car on again. So I turned the key, the electronics started to respond, but the engine did not start. I looked at production and said, I think it's dead. And then we started smelling a burnt smell coming from the engine. At this point, I'm starting to get a little manic. Usually I deal with these bad situations pretty well, but I had just spent $950 last weekend on new tires, and when you start to mess with my money, I get a little bit angry. Anyways, at this point, I don't really know what to do, and production isn't very helpful since she usually turns to me in these types of situations, so we start making phone calls. Production starts calling her parents, and I call my insurance because I obviously need to get my car towed. Hey, my car broke down on the side of the road. Can I get a tow? Your insurance doesn't cover roadside assistance. Oh. So I called AAA. Hey, my car broke down on the side of the road. If I buy coverage right now, can I get a tow? Yes, you can. Great. And I want to emphasize how important this next question is. If I tow my car to my house, will I then be able to tow it to a mechanic the next day? Because I don't really know where I want to take it yet. Sure, this is absolutely something you can do. So I pay the lady $200 and we get the tow scheduled. Now we can't get a ride back with the tow truck because the truck only has enough room for one additional passenger, and we have 2 people and a dog in the car, so we needed to figure out who was going to pick us up in the middle of frickin' nowhere. So we call production's parents and put them on speakerphone. Hey, Dan's car broke down up in the mountains. Can we get a ride back to your place? Oh no, the car broke down. We're sorry to hear that. Are you guys gonna be okay up there while we drive up? Do you need an Uber to get you somewhere safe? No. We're okay here. We're just chilling in the car. Oh, really? Because if it were me, I would be very afraid to be out there somewhere where it was all dark and cold, where anybody or anything could come up to attack you or rob you. Y'all, production scares easily and has terrible anxiety, and I could instantly see that she was getting upset. Like, her voice started to crack and she was about to have a full-on meltdown. Yeah, I think we need to get off the phone. You're starting to freak your daughter out. And we hung up. So we call my parents and coordinate for them to come pick us up. Unfortunately, they live further away than production's parents, so we'll have to wait for about 2 hours for them to come get us. We've already been on the road for about 90 minutes, and we've been sitting in the car for about an hour on the phone getting a tow scheduled and a ride back to civilization coordinated, so that was turning into a long night. While we waited for our ride to come, it was getting colder and colder in the car. We couldn't see anything outside the vehicle, and other cars were flying by inches away from our car at breakneck speeds. To pass the time, I pull out my Switch and play some Fire Emblem Engage, and production malts in her seat, progressively getting more and more paranoid. Eventually, we get picked up around 11 o'clock at night and make the 90-minute drive back home to my parents' house. But the story doesn't end there. We both get a terrible night's sleep, and we wake up in the morning ready to remotely work our jobs. So we're both going about our days, production working at full speed, and me getting 1 or 2 things done and then pretending to work the rest of the day when I get a call from my boss. Sorry to hear your car breaking down. Is everybody okay? Yeah, everybody is fine. It was a long night and we're both working remotely from my parents' house right now. Oh, good. Glad to hear you're doing well. Listen, we still need somebody to cover the office in the mountains. Any chance you can get a rental car and drive back up after work tonight? Lads, let me tell you that this did not make me happy in the slightest. After getting passed around from property to property like a blue raspberry flavored vape pen at a preteen sleepover, and then my car breaking down, I was looking forward to a little bit more time to, not drive all the way around Colorado. Yeah, sorry boss, I think I'm gonna have to pass on that one. Well, I'll have to tell the client that we'll have to close the office for the next 3 days. Dang, that's crazy. Good luck though. And I didn't go back up to the property. Getting coverage for that office sounded like her problem, not mine. The day is starting to wrap up now, and I needed to find a place for my car to get repaired. I do a little bit of research online, find a place that I think will give me a fair price, and schedule an appointment for the repairs. Now all I need to do is get my vehicle towed there, so I called AAA. Hello sir, my car broke down and I had you guys tow it to my house. I found a mechanic I would like to get the repairs done at, so I'd like to get the vehicle towed there. Can we do that please? No sir, that is against company policy. You only get 1 tow per incident. Any additional tows will need to be paid for out of pocket. Well, that's not what you told me earlier. I verified with the last person I spoke with and they said that this is something that I could do. Well, they told you wrong, sorry sir. This did not make me very happy. Well, you need to retrain the last person I spoke with so that this doesn't happen to the next person. I was very angry in this moment, and the words that came out of my mouth were definitely a little angrier than what I am willing to share here. I thought about calling a tow truck from another company, but I'm a crafty guy. There had to be something that I could do. So I pulled up their website and tried to schedule a tow without speaking to a representative. An hour later, I got a call from a tow truck guy and he took my car to the mechanic. After that, the workday was over and my parents drove us back up north. My car is still in the shop and I don't know what's wrong with it and I don't know what it's going to cost me, but now I'm driving Production's Prius to and from work until it gets fixed. In any case, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed hearing me ramble about my misfortune. I sure did. I'll catch you guys in the next video where I'm hopefully not dealing with any more car trouble or large expenses. See ya!